Hi. So in this video, I'm just going to really give you like a quick introduction to how you find some Japanese legal resources that are available in English online. And both of these are free services that you can access anywhere. You don't need to be on campus, which is the good news. The bad news is, well, they're not quite as like they're nowhere near as comprehensive as Westlaw, like that I showed you with the American one, which kind of makes sense because English with law, Japanese law, the official version of Japanese law is in Japanese, and so like I think I mentioned in the Westlaw video, there is a Westlaw Japan which you can access, and it works roughly similarly to what I showed you with the English one. But if you can't speak Japanese or Japanese is limited and you want to research something in Japanese law in English, there are sources of translations which are not comprehensive, but they're actually like not that limited either. And so there's two of them I want to show you. One is related to legislation, where you can find legislation, which is this one, the Japanese Law Translation website. And the other is judicial decisions, only of the Supreme Court of Japan. There's no database of English translations of lower courts. But the Supreme Court's own website has some translated ones, so we'll look at that. So let's start with the first one, legislation here. And clicking on that link takes you to this one. So this is the Japanese law translation homepage. So this is it's run by the Ministry of Justice as quasi-official. So what I mean is like the Japanese version of laws, like Japanese language version of laws, are the official ones. These English ones are just for kind of information purposes only. That said, though, you can find a lot of legislation, not all, but a lot of the key legislation in Japan has been translated, and these are these are not like crowdsourced stuff or whatever. This is done by professionals, so these are actually pretty high quality translations. So that's the good news. The bad news is that if you want to search this, it doesn't have like, unlike Westlaw, where if you don't know the name of the legislation that you're looking for, you just have come to it with an idea, like a question. Oh, is age discrimination illegal or something? This doesn't have an easy way of turning that into into key terms that you can look at. You can look up from a list and kind of find your way to the law that way. Basically, this is useful though if you know the name of the legislation you're looking for and you want to find it. This is where you find it. And the main thing you want to do is use this law search term here. And if you know the English name or the Japanese name, you can plug it in. So you can see I use this quite a bit. It remembers like some of my searches. So for example, like the Civil Code, that's like one of the most important laws Japan has. Covers everything, laws of negligence, laws of marriage and divorce, gifts, contracts, employment, some employment stuff is in there. So so if you want a copy of the Civil Code, it's one of those 6 laws. You can find it here. So here it is. It's in 2 parts. So Civil Code Part 1, 2, and 3, and then down here Part 4 and 5, a tentative translation. So you gotta get both of those to get the whole thing. But you click on it, and here you go. There's your Civil Code of Japan, and you can download this, and it has like Japanese and English. You can also download when you go to download. You can, if you just want the English version, you can get that. And yeah, it's several hundred pages. So that's that. Let's go back here. Okay. That's actually about, so actually there aren't any like, this is gonna be a short video, because there aren't any like really cool features like that I can show you like there was on Westlaw where it'll direct you to like other stuff. One thing is like, one thing that is kind of useful is this dictionary search. If you want to know, this is useful if you work in both languages. If you want to know what the legal term in English or Japanese is for something, and you only know the other languages version, you can put it in here, like, and it'll show you. Like if I if I put like corporation, what's the official Japanese translation of that? It gives me a very long list of stuff. Hojin, that's like legal person. Okay, yeah, that was a bad example. Well, actually, that's the Hojin corporation. Yeah, so juridical person. So this, I chose a word that's actually like in different laws. It has different. It might be used in different ways, so it's got like quite a few. But like Hojin is a legal judicial person or corporation. So this is if you want to know like the Japanese word for an English legal term that you find, you can look for it in there, or vice versa. It's not very forgiving though. Like if you don't put the exact like correct word, it doesn't have like any like smart feature that'll like correct what you were looking for. So you have to be careful of that. And also like this one here, keyword and context search. If you want to look up a specific word as it appears in legislation, you can do it, and it'll give you a bunch of results that show you that. If you're doing just like general research though, these two are like probably not something you'll use very much. But the law search, if you want to find any legislation in Japan, also regulations can be found. And you know the name of what you're looking for, this website is quite useful. So the other one that I wanted to look at is this one, where you find judicial decisions. And clicking on that link will take you here. This is the Supreme Court of Japan's official website, like its English website. This is not a very user-friendly website, search engine. But if you know the date on which the Supreme Court issued a decision that you're interested in, and it's in the past, it goes back to about the 1970s, like they don't have English translations of earlier ones. And it doesn't have not all cases have been translated, but actually like a fair number have, especially in recent years. But if you know the date, you can find your case. It does have this like keyword search, but if you just like put in like stuff that you're interested in, like if I put age discrimination in here, for example, I probably wouldn't get anything. You kind of have to know like very, very specific stuff. Like if you're looking for like, for example, like the name of a law that you're looking for, like the civil code, you want to find cases about the civil code, or maybe like Article 709 of the civil code, you can put that in, it'll be useful. But it's not a very, for general searches where you're kind of like, you want to more like browse, it's not too useful, unfortunately. But if you do know the date of the case, you can like end it here. I don't know. I'm going to, actually I don't know any, what did you say, 2020, July. Let's see what the court did. So the July of 2020, so there was seven decisions. These results, so you get like the case number, this is like the citation, the date of judgment, and then I'll give you a title. Judgment concerning the meaning of the act of monitoring the target person near his or her residence, etc., referred to in Article 2, Paragraph 1, Item 1 of the Anti-Stalking Act prior to the Amendment 102 of 2016. So that's a very technical description of what it is. But I mean, assuming that you kind of knew that there was this judgment and it's something about like the the Anti-Stalking Act that you were interested in. You could find it there. So the decision, so it gives you like this background information. Japanese cases, they don't get names like the English or American ones that I showed you, like name of plaintiff v. name of defendant. Here it's like this is not the official name. The official name is like this, the case number. Case charged for counterfeiting private documents with seal and uttering thereof in violation of the Anti-Stalking Act. So they give a kind of descriptive name of what the case is about. Tells you what the result of the Supreme Court decision was, like the earlier decision was dismissed, or sorry, the case was dismissed. It was an appeal from the Fukuoka High Court. Then you have a summary of the judgment. Here you have like whatever legislation was at issue in the case. It's in this references thing. And then here's the reasons for the judgment. So it's actually quite short. It's only like 4 or 5 paragraphs. And then the judges. Japanese Supreme Court decisions, when I showed you like the Dobbs one in the Westlaw thing, it was like, I didn't count the pages, but it was probably like 100 pages or more. Japanese court decisions tend to be like a lot shorter than American or common law country ones are. Some of them are longer, but this one is not. Anyway, so actually that's about all I can show you. so if you want to, unfortunately, like the options are very limited when you're doing legal research on Japanese law. In Japanese, you can, if you know the name of the legislation, you can probably find that legislation, except for like not all legislation has been translated, but the big ones have been on the Japanese law translation website. And if you're looking for a Supreme Court decision and you know the date or you know the case number, then it's actually pretty easy to find. But if you're just like kind of like you want to browse by like topic or something, this doesn't really work well for that, unfortunately. So those are your two options though. And okay, like I said, if you speak Japanese, Westlaw Japan is like your friend, and it's way more comprehensive than either of these two are. Okay, so that's the end of this one.